be hard to find the new consoles right now, especially if you haven't already. And this time around, they are a little pricey. Luckily, Microsoft makes it a little easier by releasing a more affordable option. These new consoles have a lot to offer, but with technology you probably can't really take full advantage of yet and barely any launch titles, is it really worth it to jump on the Xbox hype train right now? Well, I already did for you so that I could potentially save you some money or put you $500 more in debt. I'm sorry about it. This video is brought to you by Satisfye and the Kickstarter for their new Rise pads. Thumb grips for all the current and next-gen consoles. You have the Notch, the Swivel, and the Wave. I've been using them for about a month on my Xbox One controller for Warzone. The Swivel took a little getting used to on the left stick, but now it feels weird when I don't use it. Oh, get absolutely on! They fit so snug they never fall off. I have the Notch on the right stick, which gives you a thumb indent where your hand sits. Go to Satisfye.com to check out the Kickstarter for their new Rise pads, or just go to the link in the description below. They've done this whole Kickstarter thing before, so you know they're good for it. So click that link in the description and pick up some Rise pads and help support their Kickstarter. And thank you, Satisfye, for helping support this channel. Your first choice is going to be between the X or the S. Well, really your first choice is going to be whether or not you want one in the first place, but let's just assume that you do. The biggest difference between these two is that the S does not have a disk drive. So if you're not comfortable going all digital this generation, you're going to want to go with the X. They will both play all of the same games and should have very similar performance. The real difference is in the specs. The Xbox Series X can do true 4K gaming, while the S can only do up to 1440p. They both support up to 8K video if you want to watch the latest MKBHD and have the bandwidth to spare. Nope, never mind. The YouTube app only does up to 4K. The Xbox Series X has 1 terabyte of storage, where the S only has 512 gigabytes. Now, neither of these hard drives are going to have enough space for a lot of next-gen AAA 4K games, but for a diskless system, 512 gigabytes is going to be a problem for a lot of people. They're both pretty small consoles, but the S is shockingly small. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Is that it?
That thing's tiny.
It's the smallest Xbox ever made, so maybe that's an important factor to you? Looking at the specs, it looks like the Xbox Series S is for people on a budget. It looks like it's for people who just want an Xbox now and are comfortable upgrading later. Luckily, Seagate makes external expansion cards that are fast enough to run the latest games off of. Unfortunately, those are only 1 terabyte for $220. So if you're going to buy an Xbox Series S and upgrade the storage, then it's going to cost you more than it would have to just get an X. So the S is really just for people who are only going to play 1 or 2 games per year, the Call of Duty, Madden, and FIFA people. Or maybe people who just don't care about 4K gaming right now and are comfortable upgrading in the future, maybe with a mid-console lifecycle iteration. If you anticipate playing a lot of games, it might be worth it to just get the Xbox Series X. If you're looking for an excuse to upgrade your current Xbox, you're probably interested in all the new games and the true 4K gaming. Right now, there are actually a lot of launch titles. However, all but 4 of these are on other consoles, and of those 4, every single one of them is on PC. So, I wouldn't say the latest games is exactly a good reason to upgrade from your old Xbox right now. In fact, with Smart Delivery, Microsoft makes it real easy for you to upgrade in the future. They're doing you a favor here. They're saying you can hold off on these consoles for right now. If you're considering Xbox and you're new to console gaming, or you just haven't played in a while, a major selling point is Game Pass. It's a Netflix-style subscription for games, and there are over 100 games available on there for the Series X and S right now. And both of these consoles come with a free trial. so you're ready to play tons of great games right out of the box. For the first time ever, neither of these consoles come with a free subscription to Xbox Live or even Game Pass. But there's plenty of deals for Game Pass. You could even just get the first month for $1 if you're new to it. Then you could play tons of great games right when you get this thing out of the box. That's perfect for the diskless Xbox Series S, but that hard drive space just isn't. Cloud gaming comes included with Game Pass, which would be great for the hard drive, but it's not available on consoles yet. It's only available on Android and PC at the moment. But this lets you pick up your game on your Android phone whenever you want. The controller is basically the same familiar Xbox controller with minor differences. The major difference is the share button, right where you would expect a home button to be, or a start button, so you hit it whenever you want to hit start, but we'll get used to that. I thought I wasn't gonna like that D-pad, but it's actually pretty nice.
That's my favorite thing about this D-pad is how clicky it is. This is a click here. This looks like a different black. Under certain lighting, it looks different. Yeah, look at that. It's sparklier. Now, is this gonna have the same sort of fingerprint problem?
Oh,
there you go. There you go. It's already a scratch on it.
Seriously? Oh my god.
There's a scratch.
It's because you threw it on the table, Bob.
It's lived in.
Is that your excuse?
Yeah. You know, when you drive the car off the lot, it's worth like significantly less.
Oh, yeah.
Turn this to GameStop, it's gonna be worth $200, and that's why, because it's got fingerprints on it, I scratched it. If you happen to have one of those rechargeable battery packs for the Xbox One, they will work just fine in the Series X. Both of these consoles can do 120 frames per second gaming, which is a feature that I was really excited to try out. It's a feature that PC gamers have benefited from for a really long time now. There's a lot of weird caveats to this feature though. Not many TVs have 120Hz panels, and not a lot of TVs have HDMI 2.1 ports, which are required to handle that sort of bandwidth. Also, the Xbox Series S only comes with a regular old high-speed cable, not the ultra high-speed cable that the Xbox Series X comes with. This is fine because the Xbox Series S only does up to 1440p gaming, but if you want to also do HDR at 1440p, then this might be an additional purchase. I've been told that 120 frames per second will be mind-blowing. It'll be a huge jump from 60 frames per second, and I will never want to go back. But I tried it out. I booted up Rainbow Six Siege because that's one of the games that supports 120 frames per second gaming, and it's a shooter where those frames matter.
Haha, the joke's on me. It doesn't have that update yet for 120 frames per second. So we tried Gears 5. The multiplayer only is 120 hertz.
You're right. You see it in the quick motions of the camera.
But it took all that for me to see the wonders of 120 frames per second.
There's definitely a difference, but I don't know if it's something that I personally would want to spend $500 on and potentially more to buy a TV or monitor that supports it. I have a whole video talking about how TV manufacturers are barely catching up with the new specs of these consoles. But what's more baffling to me is that there is not a monitor on the market currently today that can do 4K at 120 hertz through HDMI 2.1. It doesn't exist. So I have the consoles, but I can't even upgrade my setup to utilize them yet. If 120 frames per second is something that you really care about, there are plenty of cheap 1080p and even 1440p monitors that can do 120 hertz through HDMI 2.0, which should be just fine, and I'll link those in the description below. The last generation Xbox One X can also do 4K at 60 frames per second, but not many of the games support that. The hope is that the games for the Series X will. It is a much more powerful console. The menu looks exactly the same, but you see it in the load times, in the way the console boots up. The Xbox One X also has a quick boot feature, But the Series X boots up significantly faster even after you had just unplugged the power. There's also the quick resume feature, which will treat your games like they're apps that are open on your phone or something. This is a strange console generation because to me it doesn't feel like there's any true next-gen games that are worth me trying out on this thing. We got Sonic Adventure 2 on here. My most anticipated game to try out on here is Warzone, because my Xbox One X is basically just a Warzone machine. Obviously, there's a lot of other technical features that are gonna make games look amazing on this thing, but I feel like we're not gonna see that fully realized until we get some exclusives on here, something closer to an exclusive. There's a lot of amazing details when you get into the nitty-gritty, but just watch Digital Foundry for that. To me, it's $500 to see a couple more rocks on the ground. So I honestly think most people shouldn't get these right now. I mean, I'm all for early adoption. I do it. My philosophy is you're gonna get it eventually. But if you wanna save some money and you have a console already, almost everything will play just fine on your Xbox One X or S. Microsoft isn't really giving us that much to upgrade for. Besides the fat graphics and the ray tracing and the spatial sound and all that technical bullshit that honestly shouldn't matter too much when you're just playing Call of Duty with the bros. So what do you guys think about the Xbox Series X or S? Your first impressions of it, your impressions of all the reviews you've been seeing. What do you think about it for early adopters? Is it for you? Leave it in the comments below. Add me on Twitter, any and all of this other social media garbage. I hope I've helped inform your buying decisions, or really just provided you entertainment while you're endlessly scrolling through Xbox videos, deciding whether or not you want to drop the $500. Anyway, we got new videos at least once a week, so make sure you subscribe and turn that bell on so you know when these videos go live. We got a bunch going out this week, so I want to die. We also got streams over on twitch.tv/WolfDen and our live podcast that goes over on youtube.com/WolfDen podcast. There is going to be a live demo of me playing around with the Series X and S on that channel right now. So you can go check that out. I'm messing around with it, setting up the S and answering any questions that people have in the chat. But the most important thing that you can do to help support this channel, and the easiest thing, is just subscribe. Thank you very much. Share this video with a friend who is maybe thinking about upgrading themselves or is maybe getting one, and they're just excited to have it. Thank you very much. Have yourself a good week. I love you so much.